Hi guys, it's Lucy and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be addressing some questions I've had just to do with my degree. Basically, I asked viewers what they want to see on my channel, what do they want me to talk about. So I got loads of responses and I've kind of grouped some into certain videos. Some will be their standalone video and some they're very short answers, so I've grouped them together, and today's going to be one of those videos where it is grouped. So what I've titled this video as Toilet Breaks, Mealtime Breaks, Sirens and Block Placement. So I'm going to talk a bit about all of those, answer the questions I got, and yeah, hopefully make this as short as possible because that's the idea of these videos, it's just short, straight to the point. So yeah, let's get on with the video. So first of all, I think the biggest concern for a lot of students, it was one of my concerns, is what happens when you're on a 12-hour shift. How do you go to the toilet? Where do you go to the toilet? You know, it's little stresses like that just make the whole situation so much more overwhelming when you start a paramedic science degree. So when you're on placement, yes, you can go to the toilet. I will just say that obviously there's different trusts, there's different trust policies, there's different rules and regulations, and I'm not going to go into my trust specifically. I'm trying to make this as broad as possible. However, I've obviously can't have to talk about my experience because that's all I know. For me personally, I arrive for shift 15 minutes early, and this allows me to have food if I want food, especially if it's a morning shift. Well, like it starts a day shift is what I meant to say then. It also gives me a chance to go to the toilet before shift. The biggest tip I can give you is never risk it. If you're about to start your shift, go to the toilet before you start your shift. It's the most easiest thing to do. Anytime you get a chance to go to the toilet, go to the toilet. You will get a chance to go to the toilet, you will get breaks. I personally get one planned break in a shift. Make sure you go to the toilet in that break, whether you need the toilet or not. There will also be times when you're at a hospital when you can quickly nip to the toilet. Just make sure you're telling your crew where you're going. Therefore, there's no confusion. They don't think they've lost you and they don't think you're lost. Yeah, find out where the toilets are in all the different hospitals that you go to. Even now, I'm still learning where toilets are in the hospitals. So just try, ask questions, ask nurses where toilets are, all of that sort of stuff, and you'll be absolutely fine, honestly. The next topic people wanted me to cover was breaks. Do we get proper breaks? When do we eat? Etc. So for me, we get a planned break, like I mentioned just before. Yes, these breaks can be interrupted. Yeah, in my experience, I've only been taken off break, you know, you're talking 3 times in 2 years. So for my experience, it's been quite a rarity that my break has been disturbed. If you want food during your shift, eat it whenever you can, you know. You're no good to anyone if you're hungry, if your blood sugars are low, and if you're dehydrated. So make sure you're drinking plenty, make sure you're eating at regular intervals. It's very difficult when you're on shift to know when to eat at the right times. Some people plan not to eat after a certain time. For me, that would not work. I eat whenever I need food. Kind of figure out your own little ways and means of doing things. When's the best time to eat, when not. I have filmed a video of what I eat on shift, and I'm not sure if that'll be up before this. I presume it will be, so that will be on the channel somewhere that you can see what foods I eat. But yeah, make sure also you're filling your water up on your break. You know, you don't know if you're going to have chance to refill that bottle, so make sure you're filling that up. Yeah, you get breaks, you get time to eat, you get time to go to the toilet. The next question, it's a really quick one. Are the sirens loud? Yes. They've got to be to move people out the way as you're coming through. They're not so loud when you're in the vehicle, however you can still hear them, you know. They're there for a reason. You get used to them. The first time you hear them, your adrenaline will be going, but to be honest, mine's still going now every time I hear them, to be honest. But yeah, they're loud, but they're there for a reason. So the camera might have moved a bit and the lighting might have changed, I ran out of storage. Finally, likes and dislikes of block placement. So my university does block placement, which means we do a chunk of time doing theory at uni, and then we do a chunk of time on the road with the ambulance service. Some unis do it so you could say, for example, you do 2 days in uni and then 2 days on the road with the ambulance service. I don't know why unis do it differently, that's just how they've always planned it out. The likes of block placement for me are it's very structured. You're in uni, then you're on the road. Obviously there's structure to the 2 in 2 out kind of thing, but there was a helicopter. But I like the structure of I'm going to be doing these months at uni, I'm going to be doing these months out on the road. Obviously everyone has their own preference, that's just my preference. The dislikes of block placement, however, is you could literally learn something right at the start of your block of theory, and then for whatever reason you haven't recapped it, and then you're on placement and you don't know that starting point. It's just not at the front of your brain because you haven't used it, like learned about it or used it in a while. Fortunately for me, we had recap sessions, but not every uni will be doing recap sessions on every single topic. What you're learning theory-wise, you can't always put into practice straight away, is what I'm trying to say. My uni did it last year. It's been very difficult this year because of COVID, but last year it was very much like you do the theory and then you do some practice in the skills lab, and that really worked for me to keep it in my brain. So that is something my uni does to keep stuff in your brain because of block placement. But yeah, that's my likes and dislikes of block placement. Overall, I hope that gives you some sort of information. If you've got any other questions, do leave them down below. I try to be quite, what's the word? Like, I don't want to talk about my trust too much or my experience too much, because it's going to be very different what trust you work for, what uni you go to, where you live, etc. So I've tried to make it a bit more open in the answers, so hopefully that's some help. And yeah, any more topics you want me to cover, also leave those down below, and I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye guys.